Neato drop, for the neato drop, for the neato drop, for the neato. War with the neato drops. For the record, I'ma wreck it, even if my record don't pop.
Realism Productions.
Look, one of the things I'm always interested in is, like, what sort of music did you listen to when growing up? Obviously, you're a musician now. You make music. What got you into it? What was your early influences?
Besides all the psychedelic folk I listened to, believe it or not, I actually listened to a fair bit of hip hop from the start.
Really?
And I kind of locally I got a taste for the Hilltop Hoods, Funkors, all the good stuff, all the names you know. And also got a taste for like hip hop overseas. Used to listen to a lot of stuff like Lewis Logic and all your kind of emerging MCs, underground kind of MCs, and a whole bunch of shit. I just used to love rap, and I still do love rap.
A lot of people always, they kind of always throw back to their parents as well. Did your parents listen to some trippy music?
No, they didn't listen to rap, but they listened to a lot of stuff which gave me samples to make beats out of. So like a lot of 70s, and I still use it.
Nice.
I've got a whole bunch of vinyl that they gave me minutes ago, and always look through and chop it up.
Speaking of, like, you're a producer as well. You're not just a rapper.
Yeah, I make beats and rap occasionally as well.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of everything, man. Like, productions, I'll probably do about as much as I do rapping. So,
yeah,
do both. Handle it all, man.
When you got into production, like, sort of, was it something that you had to do out of necessity because you didn't have your own beats? Or was it something you did because you wanted to do it?
Well, I never really had, like, original beats to start with, and I didn't know too many people locally that did it. Like, I was probably, like, 13 or 14 at the time, and just started mucking around with programs and, like, DJ programs and, like, just really, really messing with sounds, and started making my own beats, started rapping over them, and figured, hey, instead of, like, asking other people for beats, I think I can make okay beats myself to rap on, and that's kind of how I got into it.
I think it's always interesting, everyone these days thinks you need a really big studio to make beats.
You definitely don't.
What are you using?
For my last album, I used a MacBook Pro and a microphone, obviously, with a preamp. I don't even think I had a compressor then. So yeah, my setup's really, really minimal. It's really about like the program you're using to produce and how well you know it. And then eventually when you keep learning more and more sets of skills and you get better and better and you make better stuff, it's not relying on the actual equipment itself. Surely it's nice to have good equipment, but when I was young and stuff, nice one, what up, Gary? When I was young and stuff, it was just the Mac. I could only afford the Mac, and I'd make beats on it, and still kind of do that now to this day.
Gonna quickly throw to the chat room. Subhughes has asked, what is your favorite US producer? And that can be old school or new school.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Big question.
It's like, I really, really love DJ Premier. I also love Just Blaze and LP as well. I really, really dig LP's beats. I can't really choose a favorite, to be honest, but they're like my three biggest influences in production.
How did you get signed to Golden Era, and when did it happen?
It happened roughly a year ago. I was working on a video clip with my good man Richie from the Royal Stampede. We were finishing a clip to Dirty, and I got a phone call out the blue from Suff. Basically just saying, look, we want to sign you to GE. It'd be really cool if we could have a chat about it. And I was like, fuck yeah. It was really, really
You don't
great.
really say no to that phone call, do you?
Not at all.
I'm really keeping myself open for offers right now.
I screen heaps of calls. I pretty much screen every single call, but that was one call I'm glad I did not screen.
Being signed to Golden Era, do you get to do cool stuff? Like, do you get to go to the movies with Suffer and share popcorn and stuff like that?
It's actually in the contract. Like
it is?
On the first page of the contract, I have to see at least 2 movies a year with the crew.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Are you being fucking serious right now?
Dead serious.
There you
like,
go,
usually we go for the Terminator series.
Wow.
But
wow.
I reckon the next movie we're gonna go into is Hellraiser. So.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's rad.
It's good.
Now I'm going to throw back a little bit back to when you were first coming up. I remember you coming up. You were probably one of the most motivated kids out there. You made everything.
What happened?
I know. Was it weed? I don't know. But you know, like you took advantage of like social media, the internet. You were putting out all sorts of stuff. You were battling. You dropped Greenhouse, which now has sort of become a bit of a classic in its own right.
I forgot I made that. Hey.
Yeah. You know, like, for people who are watching this, like, what advice can you give to sort of like young MCs coming up? You know, like, in terms of kind of creating a bit of hype on yourself when essentially no one's really heard of you yet.
Yeah, shout out to Subfuse. I really think that like the work ethic that I had back then was just because I was a really, really hungry MC, and I did whatever I could at all times to get out there, and whether that was battle rapping or doing like production competitions or getting out there and making as many tracks as I could, uploading them to the internet and getting people's opinions. I worked as hard as I could, and I have ever since back then. So pretty much if you want to become a rapper, if that's what you want to do, or you want to make tunes or produce, then do it every single day. And don't just do it for a few minutes and get sick of it. Keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it until you've got it right. And yeah, just go hard pretty much.
And you entered a lot of battles as well, you know. Would you think that was an important thing for you, like, of getting your name out there? Like, actually, like, obviously not every rapper is going to be a battle MC. Like, it's a different type of rapper who does that.
Yeah, like, even when I battled beforehand, I was making tracks. So I've never considered myself a battle MC. I only ever did it to get my name out there because it was another avenue to do so. So, like, my tracks when I was that age, like 15 or 16, could only do so much. But because there was battles and there was crowds there, like people willing to get amongst it, I was in front of a crowd introducing myself to people and who had never heard of me before. So after I battled, it would obviously be like, check out my tracks, I make shit, or I've got like a CD coming out, or I've got a show coming up. So I only really used battling to promote what else I was doing and the other stuff I was doing. I have so much respect for good battle rappers. It's really something that takes it out of you. But I only ever really did it for promo so people would listen to my music.
Nice. The guys in the chat room brought up a good point. They're talking about iTunes. You know, obviously these days you can put things on iTunes and things like that. Do you think we've got all this technology now which kind of makes it more accessible for anyone to get music out there? Is it easier now or is it harder now? How is it now?
I'm not sure.
How's it different now compared to when you were battling?
When I was battling and stuff, there was MySpace around, I think.
MySpace.
So I used to put music out on that.
It's coming back.
Shout out to MySpace.
Justin Timberlake.
Shout out to Tom from MySpace. Yeah, like I used to get my music out online. I think I'm very fortunate to be part of an era where the music is being able to be distributed online so easily. Like when I released my album independently a couple of years ago, to get it on iTunes, I went onto a site called TuneCore, and that was like the third party that got to shot my music to iTunes without having a distribution deal. So if you want to get your music out professionally, it's really, really easy nowadays, especially to do it online.
I remember hearing a story a long time ago, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're obviously extremely affiliated with the Funkors, Trials.
Hell yeah.
It's one of your best mates.
What up, Trigger Trials?
Trigger Trials, legend.
I know you're in here.
That you covered for him for a gig once.
I covered with him for a few gigs, actually.
Tell us this story. This is a good story.
Yeah, this was 2010, and Daniel was unfortunately unable to go to a few gigs because he had some stuff on at the time, and there was a few shows that the Funkors had booked. So I was asked to stand in as Trials, and the reason why I was so fit for that job was because I was hanging around with them at the time so much that I knew all of the rhymes off by heart. So T was like, I don't think I can do these gigs. And I was like, dude, like, I'll do the gigs as you. I'll just, grow a little bit of a beard, get some, just get up and kick Funkors rhymes and see if it works. Funnily enough, a lot of people would walk up and be like, Trials, you killed it.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to be incognito.
And did you sign any autographs, Kay?
People caught on. Absolutely. My Trials tag is not as good as Trials tag, but
definitely. Trials has got a good tag.
I pulled over the line, but it was so much fun, and it exposed me to so many crowds. And at that time, I was still a real emerging artist, so I was really, really stoked to be sharing such huge stages. It was like being thrown in the deep end at your first job when you're on your first shift and they chuck you up the front or something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, shout out to the Funkors.
Yeah, definitely. Big shout out to the Funkors. We'll be playing some Funkors later as well. Definitely pack those guys tonight.
Do it.
Haven't made that mistake. I'm going to quickly talk about in terms of your producing, and I'm going to throw all around here. And guys, don't forget, if you got questions, we're watching this chat room. Please ask some questions. That's what this is about. So
Jump in the chat room and start
want you guys
trolling.
to be included as much as possible. In terms of your production, what are you currently using at home? What is your home studio?
My home studio is a Mac Mini running with Logic Pro 9 and Logic X. I also use a turntable. I use a MIDI keyboard, like regular shit. I rock a bunch of really, really cool plugins. Shout out to the Waves bundle. And that's really it. I use Logic for pretty much everything, from making the beat to recording on it to mixing it to putting Faint One's cuts in it. It's all pretty much done through there.
What do we got now?
I'm gonna kick a freestyle or something I came up with on the way over.
Here we go.
Let's see how it goes. Do like, maybe 1, maybe 2 bars, something like that. Shout outs to Shep. What month we in? Yo. Dry as July, live in August high as a kite, wild for the night and known to start a fire inside, recycling rhymes, I don't have the time to recite, known to wing at any minute just to try and get by, team inconsiderate, me, myself and I for an eye, get the side of the fry, little dog the size of the fight, there's quite a big bite, Chihuahua getting feisty tonight, taking your life with a sight when I arrive through the mic. Post-mix my shit is syrup, though undoubtedly sweeter, but the only leaning I've done is in the Tower of Pisa. Really proud of our leader, broken down for the greens only cause I thought I was bound to receive a mountain achiever. For the kiddies at Ensign are selling ounces to Bieber, leave you down for the count, out to bounce on you cheaters, make you bow to your leader or I'm showering ether out of my beaker. Ever cooling down from my fever, it's pound for pound around my town, shout it loud, never speak it. Round for bending out of 10, feel like 1,003, rush me to emergency. Tell them that my alter ego murdered me, pulverized the older deed of burgundy. Turn a scene so ugly that the piggies cold back up. Player playing around with a fiddle made out of catgut. Act up, back to spit the grime to make the track rust. Lackluster suckers come with more of that rank stuff. When I say won't offend them, save your opinion. In the club faded, still hate on was spinning. You came for the women, I came to smash drinks. DJ got no funkles and I bail like Christian. Bang bang, too fatal, you ain't built this league. I bring heat, no go blitzkrieg on you pit squeak. Pristine little pit squeaks, make it a mystery. Spit mean elegance to your chat while I'm Sistine. Agatha Christie.
What do you got coming out, Kay?
I have an album coming out, yeah, it's called Any Given D-Day. It'll be out by the end of the year. Touring and all of that good stuff to happen soon, so I'll probably be seeing you guys in your city for whoever's on the chat room. If you feel like leaving your house and coming and having a drink and listening to me yell at you for a while, you should definitely do that.
Your last album had a lot of really good guests on it. Can you tell us who might be on the next one? Ooh. Can you give us any little secrets? We've got a few crew here in the chat room. I think they'd like to know.
Yeah. I think the Funk Wars will definitely be on there. Mr. Trials, no doubt. Shout out to Vents One. And yeah, it'd be nice to get some Golden Era names on there for sure. But that's all I'm going to give away for now. But I'll be releasing information for it really, really soon, and might leak a track or two. Well, I don't know if it's leaking it if I say I'm going to, but I'll just put the track out to the universe and see what happens. It's like The Secret, If you believe it's going to happen, it will.
We'll definitely play it here. For sure. All right, we're going to play some more music. We'll be coming back. Faint One's going to jump up now and spin some records. She's going to freestyle it. She's going to see what's in my record bag and go for it.
Woo! Illuminati.
I want to talk about who you think is currently the most underrated Australian rapper.
Godfrey.
Explain.
Godfrey is an MC from Adelaide. He's really sick. You should check him out. He's got YouTube stuff. I think he dropped like a free release a couple of weeks ago, and he's probably got about 3 releases worth of stuff on his SoundCloud. So make sure you check it out. He's really, really good. Worth listening to. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about back in the day here in South Australia, some of the rappers and stuff like that, because you have been around on the scene for quite a while now. I want to delve more into what have you seen change in the local scene. Like I know for me there used to be a lot more live shows in this city, and that has seemed to have dried up. With live shows come the opportunity for young MCs to support bigger name MCs and hence get shows. Why do you think that is? I'm not really sure. I mean, yeah, probably about from 2005 to 2008, there was a pretty good local scene, and there was really, really good local shows and a real active scene of people coming out to see new people who had never done sets before. And there were battles as well, on-stage battles at the time. There hadn't been the a cappella leagues and stuff you see on, Got Beef and stuff like that. So it was a lot of on-stage battles mixed with shows, and they worked really well. They were promoted super well. I've really got to owe it to dudes like Shep, who put on great shows back in the day. Dudes like Blake, dudes like Lee Hill, Eldie. there used to be a bunch of really good, really professional and just straight to the point promoters that put out shows and gave dudes like me the opportunity to get on stage and rock for the first time. And I honestly think that built and shaped a lot of good MCs, which you might have heard of today from Adelaide, like Purpose and Prime and dudes like that. We all kind of came up from the same era, and we started battling, but we usually used it to promote our own music, and we got put on really, really good shows. And even I look back at those shows now, and it's mind-blowing, like, at some of the turnouts and how awesome some of those shows really, really were. I don't think, like, a lot of those shows could be relived ever again. What do you think?
I agree. I definitely, I think the big festivals had a big part of that as
Remember
well.
when you put on that Battle League show at HQ?
That was a good show.
And there was so many people there, and it was like a battle, and there was like a breakdance battle or something as well. But it was just a massive crowd of people willing to support local hip-hop and stuff. Like, they wouldn't go there because they've heard of someone, they'd go there just to watch live rap, and that was amazing. Oh yeah, shouts out to the chat room, Pete.
Oh, check it out. One, shouts to K.
Shouts to Smears. Kick that shit, my man.
I'm not kicking your coffee. The shooter in your lobby, disembody you copy copies. Ain't no way to stop me. You're bursting his vermin. Berserk when determined to break these barricades. Just so you learn something when I paraphrase. Turn to beast mode when I enter my battle phase. Paying dues like debts, not in Lannister ways. It doesn't matter anyway what I'm doing. My own stuff. Knowledge reigns supreme and I'm smart as fuck. You don't know me. I've been slept on. You ready to die and I ain't dead. Wrong, so may I have your attention? I'm Smears 1. The needle just dropped and you know I'm done, so peace out, goodbye, see you later. I'ma let Shep take you out with the fader.
Nice. Smears, stay there. Let's ask you a few questions.
Gonna ask me a few questions.
Yeah, why not?
Alrighty.
Nice work, man. How long you been MCing?
Well, I started writing in like year 8, like, and so it's probably been about like.
Was that last week or?
Yeah, about last week. Yeah, probably about like 5 years.
Yeah.
Not like.
And for you as a young guy coming up, who's your inspirations here in this city?
Definitely K. K's helped me out a lot. Obviously all the GE boys. Basically anyone trying to do their own thing in like the Australian hip hop scene, like even in Adelaide. Like shout outs to my man Gerds and Dorsey. They're killing it. Shout outs to Clear Minds.
And what do you got coming up, Smears?
I've got.
Because I know you're working on something.
Yes.
Tell us what you're working on.
I've got like a mixtape. May I have your attention? Should be out very soon. Shout outs to the Ewok doc, the K21. Show that up. What's the deal?
Can you see that? It's an Ewok.
Yeah, it should be coming out in about a couple of weeks. And I've also got a show coming up as well with a few of my mates that I'm going to be doing.
Awesome.
Shit's going well.
Cool. Well, that's Smears, guys.
That's me.
He'll definitely be around at these shows helping us out. So
shouts to Yo-Go 5000. I am very nice.
Yo-Yo's the man. We like Yo-Yo.
Smears killed that. And here's a panda on a children's chair.
Oh.
Here. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in and talking on the chat rooms. It's really appreciated. I'll be in your town soon for a show, so make sure you come out, have a couple of cheeky drinks with me, and come check it out. And shouts out to Soundpond for having me, and Days for not banning me.
Alright, guys, we'll be back next week. I don't really know who we're going to have yet, but we're definitely going to have someone good.
Thank you, friends.
Thanks for coming by, and we'll see you next week.
Love you.
Track for the Nito track, for the Nito track, for the Nito. War with the Nito tracks. For the record, I'ma wreck it, even if my record don't pop.
Realism Productions.